Why? Why bother ask a question, who am I? Why would you ask a question like this? No one in the world requires you to go so deeply in introspecting. You don't need it for a job. You don't need it to get married. You don't need it to buy a house. You don't need it to learn a new language. You don't need it for anything, in fact. If it's come, it must be coming something very different. Like some inner compulsion to find out something. To break out of this habit, perhaps, conditioning. A way of thinking that you learned that's not original to your being. Through this question, many beings came out of confusion forever, free from the fear of dying, from the fear of living, free from the sense of other.
I ask that question when I find my mind racing.
Yes. Mind is racing and something feels disturbed by it, because it can be, listen please, it's possible that mind is racing and you are in total peace. If you don't try and follow mind or quieten mind or judge, oh, this should not be, this is wrong. Let the galloping mind be galloping, it doesn't matter. If you keep your attention here, how long can the mind gallop for? Who hears this? I don't know. The mind thrives on the oxygen of your attention and your belief. Give mind that power, that potency. Without interest, what you call mind and thoughts giving trouble has no power at all. Has no power at all. Let mind be around for practical duties. But if you are confused as to who you are, mind will be a bad master. Mind is galloping. Are you galloping?
Sometimes.
It feels like this. This is also a thought, which itself is mind. You are the witness of that. You are aware of this. If this is clear for you, that you are not that which is following, that have to do something about mind and all of these, which is itself mind. All of these are thoughts. You're just a space in which this play appears inside of it. Attention, your most potent instrument. When attention is running with mind, then you have the sense that you are running. I am troubled, or, I wish I could stop. All these thoughts will be there. Leave them be there. Don't say mind should not, the leaves of the mind should not tremble, or there should be no waves in the ocean. Let them be there. They do nothing to you. You are just that intelligent principle that can witness them if you care to. Sometimes you don't care to give your energy to even notice them, so they die down very quickly. If you feel inclined to notice them, they may still die down quickly, but you are not troubled. Give permission for your mind to be as fiery as it can be. But don't identify and see what happens. Say the mind can be as loud, fiery as it can be, but don't identify. No panic, don't identify. Keep quiet. And see what happens. That principle you call the sage has learned only to ignore all that. That through understanding to know that that function of mind cannot return them to who they are. They don't even have the idea that they left, so there's no return to happen. Once you're clear, and the purpose of being here is to be completely clear about it, you're not the one who moves. You are never going to happen. Happenings happen in you. You are not going to happen. You are the witness of all happenings. Initially, we are the active witness of these happenings because there's interest. Gradually, we become more or less passive witness of it, meaning that unconcerned about it. After passive witnessing, no interest. When there's no interest, there's no registration. When there's no registration, there's no recognition. There's no recognition, nothing happened. Nothing happened. I use these terms when, then, but it's just play. It's now, actually. What are you doing now? Even if there's some attempt inwardly to try and get this, that's just a sort of play occurring in you. You're noticing this attempt, this effort, this energy. From where are you looking? And as what are you looking? See if you can find out. Don't identify. If you identify, you carry some identity, and where there's an identity, there's a sense of an I entity. See if you can find this I entity apart from thought. How long it will take you? You are the absolute principle. You manifest as this dynamic knowingness. The feeling I am is your ability to taste existence. It's out of your I amness that functioning of the world and the tasting of all of these flavors are occurring to you as I am. You are aware of that presence, the sense of presence, that intuitive feeling, the sense I exist. Nobody gave this to you. Out of this I exist feeling, perception of all of this comes for you. You're behind. I say behind, but is it really behind? I don't know. Can the infinite be behind? I don't know. Or presently, perhaps we're not clear that it's infinite. This is why I ask you, do you have a form? Do you have a form, a fixed form? If you have a fixed form, then something can notice that fixed form. If there's noticing of the fixed form, then that noticing is earlier than the form itself is. Because it watches the form appear and disappear, but it does not disappear. I'm hoping that these words are not too complex. The deep seeing through all of this is noiseless, concept-free, wordless, thoughtless. Words are only to convey, to point towards this thing. Your seeing is imageless.
Thank you.
is no interest, there is no registration. When there is no registration, there is no recognition. There's no recognition, nothing happened. Nothing happened.